About 10 years ago, I started getting calls one week from far distant friends and family checking to see if I was okay. Even my brother called. And maybe you don't have a brother like mine, but my brother never calls. Even when I had a hurricane pass through the town where I was going to college, he didn't call. But a series of articles in the New York Times had alarmed him enough to reach out. The concerns from him and others about my safety were in response to New York Times headlines, which read like these. There were lots of problems with the coverage. It ignored the fact that most of the biggest causes of early death in Chicago are structural violence and not interpersonal violence. It also ignored that the neighborhoods they focused on were already experiencing hypersurveillance and intensive policing. Surveillance and policing were not making the neighborhoods experiencing high rates of this violence safer. They were also the communities that had been experiencing high levels of police violence. I went into the office the morning after the 8th or 9th call I received and sat down with my team. We are the Institute for Research on Race and Public Policy. Our mission is to use rigorous research to provide the public, policymakers, organizers, nonprofits with research-based policy solutions. So we asked ourselves, what were the conditions and experiences of Chicagoans across communities? Our goal was to bring together existing data, and there is lots of it, to inform conversations about what needs to happen in Chicago to help all communities thrive, and to bring attention to UIC as a key place where cutting-edge research on race and policy is happening. We got to work right away, and we started with our first report focused on Black, Latina, and white Chicagoans, the largest 3 groups in the city. And over time, we have written more than 10 reports, some focused on smaller but important populations in the metro area, others zooming in on particular topics. These reports led us to be asked to do others by local foundations wondering how to respond to demographic changes, by state agencies looking to develop data-informed policies, and investing in this public-facing work that, for us, was a way to lean into our mission has been transformational. The reports have been downloaded thousands of times. Thousands of hard copies have been distributed to schools, to community organizations, and public officials. The work and the conversations they have generated have helped us to build and deepen relationships with community partners, big and small. They have been used by community organizations to secure more resources for their important work. They have been used by educators across the area from elementary school through higher education. They have informed the work of organizations like the Field Museum and the Chicago Federal Bank. They are part of a growing ecosystem of scholarship focused on shifting public narratives about what Chicago and Chicagoans need. Putting research into the service of our community in this way is a critical part of our work as a research institute and as a part of the only public research university in the city. As we have seen in the last few months, narratives of Chicago overrun with crime are once again being deployed in ways that harm our neighbors and harm our communities. My brother hasn't called lately, but we still clearly have a lot of work to do. Thank you very much.